Hello and welcome to the Build with Baer workshop. My name is Pat Baer. I'm here to build model kits and talk about anime, talk about video games, talk about whatever's on the chat's mind. Happy E3 Eve to you, the T. Hello, the T. Hello, Mr. Bob. I'm throwing the Bear Cave emote in there, the Lego emote, the Scythe emote, the Pride emote that got unlocked because someone cheered. If you cheer with 200 bits, it has to be 200 bits at least. You unlock some Pride emotes until June 30th, and also some random other people in the chat unlock that as well. Durman's here. Hi, Durman. Gonna wait a few minutes, wait for a few more folks to join us before we get to the building. We're doing a Lego set today. We're about halfway done with the Stormfighter, Jay's Stormfighter. This is Jay. Lashbrook's here. Hi, Lashbrook. This is Jay. Jay's a Stormfighter. We also got Ninja Lady. I don't know anything about her. We've got Snake Person, who is not going to show up in the green screen at all because it is a green snake man. We'll look at that underneath the overhead webcam. And then also, just a straight up snake person. Like, there's a snake man, and then there's a man snake, I guess. But I don't know, this thing's a big, like, serpent thing with arms. So we got some minifigs. Ninja Lady is such a compelling and rich character. Indeed. Look, all I know is that this is Jay, and Jay's Stormfighter is a jet that's also blue, that has a mechanic that's kind of interesting. Basically, here are the weapons for the wings, which aren't done yet, will spread out. And I don't know. There's a mechanic to like make them do that. Basically, I can pull this, and they'll open up like that, which is like, I guess, hover mode. I don't know. There's a cool thing. It's kind of cool. Snake Man and the Man Snake, the two genders, indeed the T. Anyway, we're going to do some model kit. Not model kit. We're not doing any model kits today. We've got this, and then if we finish on stream, the next thing that we're going to build is another Lego set. But this one's a Star Wars Lego set. Ooh, Star Wars Lego set. So we got a Star Wars Lego set here. We're working on Moloch's Landspeeder. So we're building a Landspeeder. We got some hounds. We got Rebolt, and Rebolt featuring Rebolt's whip. So that's the thing we'll build next if we get to need to do more there. This looks just like a fun kit. I was looking for something. Star Wars, has been a while since we did Star Wars, and it's got the hounds can ride in a vehicle, and I think that's nice. Let those hounds ride. Yeah. I didn't see Solo, so I know this is Solo related. I didn't see Solo. I hope you're all having fun. We're waiting here in the chat for a couple more minutes before we start the build, see if anybody else wants to join us this fine evening. I know that Saturday is a busy time. People are probably prepping. They're not watching the internet because they've got so much E3 coming out. So maybe they don't want to watch me build a Lego set, or a Ninjago set. But I really like these Lego sets. And also, I did so many, between model kits and papercraft, we did a bunch of stuff lately. So it's kind of fun to just do some Lego, get it back into it. That's a cool speeder. I love how the design inspiration was clearly a book. Yes, I think it's just a cool looking speeder. Also, I want to have a Lego set ready for Monday's stream. For those wondering, I am streaming on Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, my normal build time. It is during the Square Enix presser, but I don't care. I'm already going to pre-up my my Thursday stream, so I'm just like, whatever. I'm just going to stream normal. But I'm also working a job on Monday where I am going to work 7 a.m. till 4 p.m., which is early for me. So I'm going to come home and nap. So I really don't want like a model kit where I'm like really digging in, and I want to do something where I'm like, oh, mess that up. If I'm distracted, I want it to be okay. Let's see. All right, we'll wait a minute or two, see if anybody else wants to join us. Might be just a light night, audience-wise, which is okay. It's all right. I'm fine with that. Saturday is often a little bit of our late stream. I am going to next Thursday stream earlier. I'm doing 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern next Thursday because that is the third night of the Giant Bomb post E3 streams. That is the wacky one, and that's the one I like to watch. So I'm going to preempt my stream because I want to watch that one live. But as I said, don't really care that I'm interrupting Square Enix. I'll just see the trailers immediately after I'm done streaming. Anyway, let's go to the overhead. We got our jet. So, this is what we've built so far of our jet. As you can see, there is the mechanic. We're going to do that. Pops them in there, and I can lock it in place. They go back. And as I said, here is our snake man there with the old cobra-like head. Copperhead head there. You can see there's a snake person. So you can see it. Alright, let's put these minifigs away. No need for these minifigs right now. Ninja Go line. Great minifigs. You know, lots of monster people and ninjas. All very cool. Isn't that guy from G.I. Joe? The T. I mean, come on. Ultron's here. Hi, Ultron. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, so I got some pieces set up here. Just going to be nice and easy. Just, we're working on the front part of our jet. As you can see, it's sticking out there. So we're just assembling pieces as we need them for the cone of the jet. Cobra La, yes. Cobra La, as they say. It is very Cobra Commander-ish. Not the first. I mean, Conan has, snake gods and people that turn out to be lizard and snake people. Alright, so we're going to put this here. We'll put this on like this. And then a fun thing about this kit, you would look at it and you go, oh, this is the shiny part. And this is the matte part. This must be the top and this is the bottom. No, this is the top. Even though this very much looks like a bottom piece, we're going to put a decal on there and you're not even going to notice that it doesn't quite look, it looks like a piece of the bottom. And this shiny is going to be the bottom of our jet, which I think is very fucking cool. It does mean we have to put a decal on, but whatever. We'll get that decal on right now. Got 2 more decals left, so not too many on this kit. Epic Open World's here. Hello. Does that let it slide on the bottom? I believe this piece is meant for it to move around a bit because it doesn't look like this has landing gear. So I believe that we will be putting some of these pieces here on the bottom of our jet, I imagine. Ted says, hello, everyone from Orlando. Hope your day is going well, Pat. It is going well. Thank you very much, Ted. Hello. This was a good day. So this is a day of plans changing and then other plans being okay. Originally, the plan was to go to the beach today. Weather was going to be nice. Some friends were like, let's go to the beach. Well, last night, two of the 3 people that were talking about going to the beach were like, what if we didn't go to the beach? And I was like, oh, I kind of want to go to the beach. So we didn't go to the beach. And then I was like, well, I should be practical. I should do some laundry today. My local laundromat is closed. Not quite sure what's going on, but there cannot have any occupants in the building there. So it's probably for the best. There's another laundromat it's just far enough that like I don't want to go there, drop off my clothes, come back, go back there. So it has to be like tomorrow is going to be like the thing I go do is go and do my laundry and then like eat lunch while it's in the dryer or whatever. So that's annoying, but that's what I'm going to do coming up tomorrow. But I thought I could do that today because I was like, oh, I can get some errands done. Well, that'll be good. No. So I ended up just doing a bunch of dumb shit here in the apartment, and that's fine. I can't imagine having to use a laundromat. I have 2 washers and dryers in my apartment. Well, the tea, that's awesome. Of course, I grew up, not of course, but I grew up in a house that had a washer dryer. And then since I've lived in New York, I've only lived in one apartment that had a washer dryer. Every other place I've lived, I've had to go to laundry, do laundry, and it's been fine. And this is just an annoying setback. It means that, like, if I had known, I would have managed my time better, but I didn't. All right, so we got these blades here. These blades are pretty cool, and they fold up. And then, yeah, and then you can fold up and then pop them open. Obviously, Jay is a ninja, so these blades are, like, cool. But it is weird that they're on this jet. It's kind of an odd choice. I do like the cockpit, though. I think cockpit looks really neat. One I brought with me, and they were not hooked up. The others belong in the apartment. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's just a thing of I haven't lived in an apartment that's had it since when I first moved here. When I first moved to New York, I actually lived in New Jersey. And there was a washer dryer because it was like a brownstone for like 4 stories that someone owned and rented out the bedrooms in. And the second floor was like a bedroom and the washer dryer in one of the bathrooms. And that was really nice and convenient. But every other apartment, not so. I watched 30 minutes of EA play, saw the Star Wars, played the free-to-play Monster Hunter-like game, Dauntless, and ate pizza. Hell yeah, Epic Open World. That sounds real good. I also had a slice of pizza today. I got a slice of pizza and a pepperoni wheel. Now, the pepperoni wheel, for those that don't know, probably know. It's like, we had a resub that I didn't notice. No, that Chaco was, yes, that's right, that was on Thursday. Sorry about that. I looked in my my notifications there. Chaco resubbed at the end of Monday's or Thursday's stream, so never mind. Pepperoni wheel. It's like a roll. It's like one of those rolls, only it's like a wheel, like that. I don't know, pinwheel kind of a thing. So it's like you take the dough, you wrap the dough and the cheese, the pepperoni, and then you put it together in like in a spiral, and then you cut a bunch of them and you make a big little thing, and then you just cut it into several pieces or rip it apart if that's your thing, and dunk it in something. Sometimes I dunk in marinara sauce. Today I dunked in ranch because I have plenty of ranch dressing and not a lot of marinara sauce. And it was fucking good. All right, so working on one of our wings here. We have to finish one of our wings, so we're going to put our jet aside and start building a wing. We're doing some wings and things. But yeah, pepperoni wheels are good. They're very good. And in ranch dressing, particularly, very good. Sometimes a roll is exactly what you want, like a chicken roll or pepperoni roll. But the place I go to does wheels. So they do a broccoli wheel as well, which is good, but I prefer the pepperoni wheel myself because I understand what I like. I'm very aware of what I'm into. All right. Hi, everybody that's watching. Happy to have you here, building some Lego, talking about whatevs, whatever is part of the conversation of the day. I did mention I got I googled pepperoni wheel and this came up. That is Epic Open World. That is not what I'm talking about. That is an improper use of pepperoni. I would even go so far to say that's a waste of fucking pepperoni. Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that. The Star Wars game looks good. I do dare dream that EA is going to make a good Star Wars game. I choose to have hope that it is. So Epic Open World, I mean, I don't know. I have no idea. I think someone's got to nail it. There's so many studios working on, they've had so much like back and forth. You think at some point they'll nail it, but I don't know. I'd like to play a good Star Wars game. But, hopefully they'll nail it. Alright, so we got this. Yeah, so we're going on the wing here. Wings and things. Chicken wings. I've done a chicken wing in a long time. I'm now thinking about chicken wings. Wings and things. Okay, this goes there. This goes like this. I'm liking the look of this wing, and the nice thing is we're going to build this, and then we'll build the other one, and it will look identical, and it will be very easy to put together when the time comes, because we have already built one version of it. Like any good market. The Ted just subscribed to Tier 1. That's 2 months, currently on a 1-month streak. Thank you for subscribing again. Let's throw the Bear Cave emote and the Lego emote there in the chat, and thank you for that. I really much appreciate it. Ted8721. Yeah, renewals of subscriptions, always appreciated. New subscriptions, always appreciated. Yes, throw those emotes out. Those are your biggest reward. Later in the stream, I will talk about, because I gotta talk about it. I'm doing a fundraiser. I didn't want to, but I'm doing one. It's on GoFundMe. I'm gonna put the link in the chat right now. I'll talk about it during the break. I'll talk about it until I make all the money I need to make for it. I'm sorry that I have to do this. I hate how much time of my streaming time and my life I spend talking about ways that people who like what I do can support me financially, and it fucking sucks. But I started talking to people about PAX West and started planning out the things for PAX West, and there was always this if I even go, I don't know if I'm going to be able to go, but I'm planning it as if I am. And just I can't keep doing that. It's so weird to not be able to tell people for sure if I'm going or not. So I am turning to crowdfunding. We are, yes, Ultron, you're right. I am currently at, I should say, just for sake, people watching this later, it'll be different probably by the time I say that, but I am at $519, which is awesome. The money I'm raising right now is going for a reasonably priced Airbnb that is pretty close. Thank you, C. Thalmer, says Pax Baer, make it happen, people. But yeah, considering I started yesterday, being at the $500 mark is fantastic. I am merely attempting to raise money for a airfare and hotel, or Airbnb. So a reasonably priced Airbnb is what I'm looking for. I'm not, I'm basically looking at a loft space, small little room, but it's 25-minute walk to the convention center because it's Labor Day weekend, and Seattle knows what PAX is, or Memorial Day, whatever. It's a holiday weekend, and PAX is a known quantity, so everything is expensive. Hotels are expensive. Airbnbs are expensive. And then flights are also always expensive. I don't say it in the actual PAX thing, but a thing that I also have is, for the most part, I'm near 3 major airports that are all fairly convenient to get to. Newark is not convenient by any stretch of imagination, but it is close enough. So I am near airports. I do have that advantage. I am flying out of New York to Seattle. A big disadvantage I personally have is my ears. My ears don't love the landing. It's even the takeoff is usually okay. It's the landing that's really bad. To the point where sometimes one of my ears just doesn't pop, and I have to go through a lot of process of help to do it. Tricks, steam, literal steam from a shower, or nasal spray before I take off, that kind of stuff. I have to do a lot of that, and it's awful. So it basically makes layovers have to either be really long, because the landing and then 45 minutes getting back up in a plane, that second takeoff causes me to have severe headaches and nausea, and it's Um, I mean, it basically means that like unless I absolutely have to have a layover, I have a layover. It has to be a really long one. Um, like a 45-minute layer or like an hour layover isn't enough. And so it's not worth it to me to do that. So that does mean that I'm looking at direct flights to places. So that costs money because if somebody did reach out and ask like, "Hey, why are you raising so much money to go to PAX?" Epic Open World says I have that problem too. Yeah, it wasn't something. It's something I developed over time, and I is awful because it's often difficult to get direct flights to places, and you of course are paying a premium for that. Um, and then even like staying the place I'm looking at, the Airbnb I'm looking at, like isn't like you know grand, but also it doesn't cost me a grand to stay there Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday night because the amount of money it would cost me to fly out Monday night basically means it's actually way cheaper financially to just stay Monday night and fly out on Tuesday. It saves so much money for me to fly out on Tuesday than it is to fly Monday and land Tuesday morning on the West Coast, on the East Coast. It's unbelievable how much money, how much cheaper that is. Uh, all right, so this is the wing. We're putting the wing together here. It looks fucking really cool. So yeah, so I'm raising money. I hate to have to keep asking this year, but I want to do a very successful PAX West for people, and I can't start really planning like until I know I'm going. Now I can actually start talking about merch sales. Uh, yeah, I mean, like that's I'm not even asking, like really necessarily for food. Like $1,200 is that's the money I'm raising for room. And $1,200 is actually just what a hotel for 4 nights for PAX West in Seattle would be. The fact that I'm staying in Airbnb and that I'm like slightly estimating how much a flight would be, a no frills flight would be, is I mean that's where I'm at. Yeah, I mean, look, it was really just that people often ask to like, well, if you here's this flight's only $300. Why are you budgeting $600 for your flight or $580 for your flight? This flight's $300. Like, oh, that flight would land Friday morning and has 3 layovers, and the return flight is on Wednesday the following week. So yeah, it's like not, I don't know. And I look, hey, I want people to ask questions. I want to answer those questions. I'm asking people for money. It's hard not to like, you know, this is now the third time I've done something of this. Well, Newark to Chernobyl to Dublin to Omaha to Seattle. I think there was I have done, full disclosure, it's out there. I have done 2 Kickstarters in the past. One to go to the second PAX South, and one to go to PAX West because originally PAX West, I had been going there under the wonderful sponsorship of Cards Against Humanity, who the first year they stopped going, they were like, we're not going, so we can't do this anymore. And so I had turned to Kickstarter. So I've run 2 Kickstarters, and the second Kickstarter was to go, and it was for quite a bit more money than my PAX South one. And I had people who don't really follow PAX who were very confused that I was asking for what seemed to be an incredibly way more money than I had previously asked for, because they didn't know. And so it was like, yeah, it's easy enough to understand. And then somebody was like, I don't understand how New York to Seattle costs so much more than New York to San Antonio. And I was like, I don't know what to tell you, buddy. New York to San Antonio in January is way less than New York to Seattle the last weekend of August. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, it is. It's very different. But, I'm not trying, this isn't a con, but it is me asking people for money. So, like, I am totally willing to answer questions about that. Like, and be open and honest about it. I believe, so this is the hover piece that we're putting on here. Trying to line this up right. This looks fucking cool. I know I'm changing the subject momentarily. I'll talk about money and all that, but like this looks fucking cool. Yeah, so, I'm not trying to grift anybody. I'm just trying to be able to make it, because right now financially the current situation I'm at, like, while I do have some things that could be turning into full-time work, none of that is set in stone, and this is a way for me to be able to plan for PAX and the ability to do cool panels for people. So that's the goal, is to be able to do cool things. So now I can start like revving up merch for PAX for PAX West, and trying to book talent. Of course, some of the talent right now, I'm like, they're at E3, so I'm not like asking them. But there's talent that aren't at E3, and I can start like locking them in, or trying to arrange for a good time for my panels and all that. My important question is, what was your most disappointing in-flight movie? Huh. I'm trying to remember, because like I usually don't, in the era where, pre everybody having their own monitors or that kind of thing, I didn't watch a lot of movies when they were the in-flight movie, where it was like the drop down and everyone just looked forward. I usually didn't watch a lot of those, which is not a funny answer at all, but it is the truth. I would just kind of never be into that. Trying to think. I remember something with Sandra Bullock. I'll say this. I had when I was a younger person, child, maybe preteen, definitely preteen. So like, child. My mom and my grandma and I flew to Spain. We went through Connecticut. We took like the thing to New York, and then flew to Spain to see my uncle, who was stationed in the military there, which was a very cool trip. And I brought a lot of books with me to read, and I realized on the trip, like on the plane to Spain, I realized that I very much did not enjoy the Boxcar Children series of books. I had never read them, and I was too old for them. I definitely was too old for them, but somebody had been like, oh, you're going to go overseas? Here's a bunch of books. And I was like, okay. I was definitely too old for it, and also definitely like not interested in that series, because it was like very old. I mean, they've very much updated like Nancy Drew and the Hardy Boys and those kind of books went through like a renaissance, and I feel like the Boxcar Children just got re-released with like no changes to them, and just been like, here. So this was the 80s, the mid to late 80s, the late 80s, yeah. And I was just like, nah, I don't like these books. And I had so many of them because, hey, here's a weird thing. In Spain, there's all the television is in Spanish. And when you don't understand the language, you run out of things to watch. So, my uncle had a VCR Plus at the time. So before he had moved to Spain, because he lived, so my great uncle is a priest, a Catholic priest, and he was a chaplain in the Navy, so he could live off of the military base. He didn't live on the military base, he lived off the military base. He was a captain in the Navy and a chaplain, and so he he had like an apartment, excuse me, like a house, more like a house. Uh, and so we were just staying with him for free in Spain, and it was like very cool. My mom loved it so much. She loved the trip so much. For me, I like it wasn't a waste, but um it wasn't like I wasn't at the best age for it. Okay, so I don't know. Okay, so it was a good trip. So my uncle had recorded a lot of television back in the States. So I watched a lot of whatever he had recorded. So I would watch like a lot of like made for TV movies, and then he would turn the VCR on, it would turn on the thing, but it wouldn't turn off. So he would go out and record stuff and come back. So he had a lot of tapes that just had like Judge Wapner, like half an episode of Judge Wapner after a made for TV movie. So I watched a lot of that with my grandma because we just wanted something that, I was definitely homesick eventually because we were in Spain for a really long time. So eventually I just wanted something. I'm going to admit this doesn't do a great job of telling me exactly how this connects. So there is a piece here that hooks. Does it that? No, that doesn't look right. I'm not 100% sure how this connects to it. I assume it just goes like this, but that's Oh, Zorbs just subscribed. Hi, Zorbs. How many people don't even know what a VCR is? Yeah, VCR is like DVR, but not really. Zorbs, thank you so much. That's 19 months. Yeah, throw the bear game mode in there. Thanks, Zorbs. Also happy to have you here, Zorbs. Welcome, welcome. I'm trying to figure this. Yeah, this doesn't do a great job of telling me how this connects. Like, there's like an arrow that points, but it doesn't, because it opens. So I'm going to go where I think it goes. I think it goes this. Okay, so I think it goes like that. Yeah, all right. I think that's right. That looks right from the swing in. Okay, yeah, and there's a spot for this to lock into place if I want to lock it in place. Okay, yeah, that looks right. Okay, that looks right. If you had your fancy VCRs, you could punch in the code. Yes, VCR Plus with your TV guide from the paper to make it DVR. Yes. And yeah, you would just record like stuff. So like my uncle had a lot of things to watch because eventually like we got tired of the one English language movie channel that we had access to. That there were movies I couldn't watch because I was a kid. But yeah, I watched like The Princess Bride recorded off of television, and then after that was like supermarket sweeps, and you're like, well, I guess we'll watch this. I remember that because we were gone for so long, my grandmother had her soaps because she watched soap operas. My grandmother was at the age where there were a couple soap operas that had started as radio dramas, and she had been watching her whole life. I don't think she watched them as radio dramas, but she was at an age where she had watched them growing up the whole time that they existed. So she knew she couldn't watch them, and we were going to be gone long enough that she couldn't like record them at home or have someone did it. So her sister, my great aunt, took notes on what was happening on like Days of Our Lives and The Young and the Restless and whatever else they watched. And so she like filled the notebook with like information. Of course, you also like, hey, soap operas recap what's been going on, but after a while there is stuff that doesn't get included. So my grandma came home to like a notebook filled with information, like very good detailed notes, and then there'd be like, this is what happened, but there'd also be like what my great aunt like thought of the episode. So basically my great aunt made a blog, but instead of it being on Vulture, it was just for my grandma. Epic World says I have some access to European shows, and I was surprised how many naked people are just regular European TV. Canadian Papa Bear's here too. Hi, Canadian Papa Bear. Happy to have you. We got a great crowd already tonight, which is great. We're doing some Lego building, talking about international television. That is a thing I very much remember from my trip when I was in high school, going to London. That there were just lots of boobs in the newspaper. Lord Crashton is here. Hi, Lord Crashton. Happy to have you here. Already assembled just a great crew of people. We've been building for almost 40 minutes today, which has been great. Yeah, just doing some stuff. Sorry, I'm just checking some messages here. Great. Somebody trying to talk to me about a show that's in a couple weeks? No, thank you. I have things to do. Can't talk to you about your comedy show. All right, that goes there. Looks right. Great. I had put this in the wrong spot for the on the other side, but I was able to fix it, so should be able to, because basically we're just doing the other wing, so it should be pretty much identical to what we did. And not hard to do. I've been thinking about how I could start an international trash TV exchange, says Mr. Bob. Yeah, I mean, like, it was always interesting to see what people were into in other countries, and then there was a show in Australia at the time. There was a soap opera in Australia. Now I'm sorry, I cannot remember the name of it, but it was a popular show in Australia, and apparently some American networks got it before the British did, because it wasn't simulcast. It was shown later. So when I was in England, I got definitely cornered at an event with local kids, and people were asking me about this Australian show, and I was like, I don't know. They're like, but you get it first, and I'm like, do I? And I think I later learned that Canada got it first before the British kids, but not America. I want to say it was Neighbours. That's what I think it was, but I could be very wrong. But there was some show that it was just no, what, no. Canada gets many TV shows before the U.S. Yeah, international shows, certainly. I mean, obviously, there's a certain amount that needs to be, basically, sometimes if it's, sometimes it's yeah, it gets around the whole, a certain amount of programming has to be either made in Canada or developed with Canadian money. So that sometimes they get around that by actually putting things out there. We were talking about Australia. There was an Australian show that these kids really wanted to know about, but I don't think it was Neighbours. Let's see. Canadian Pop Bear says, if I donated from here, can it go towards your PAX trip? Prefer to use PayPal. Canadian Papa Bear, if you don't want to donate through the GoFundMe, I put my email out there. That's my email. If you want, and you can use that as the enter on PayPal and PayPal me money, and I'll, put it towards the funds for that. More than welcome to do that. But that is my email address. That is my PayPal account. It's my Gmail address. It's out there. You could just Google Pat Baer email and you will find it. So I don't have a problem with that. I have a secret email for when I get too famous to have what you would think my email would be. I have another one that I have waiting for the time where that email becomes completely compromised. One of the Spanish languages seemed to be airing some sort of Egyptian epic while Game of Thrones was at its peak. So likely Mexican-produced show based in ancient Egypt, to be clear. Yeah, I mean, why not? Uh, yes, Lord Crashington. Yeah, my alternate email is Baer. No, no, I have a email that's I have a Gmail locked in that's waiting. Really, I need to set up a second email account because my work email I was going to lose access to um, for my UCB job, and I needed to have a second email for some accounts, and so I set up one that I only use for like I have a secondary Twitch account and like just in case. And originally it was for testing, although now testing is a lot easier to do. There was a time where testing wasn't easy to do, so I had a second one to do that. Uh, DeathScythe81 at Hotmail. Yeah, no, I don't have a Hotmail account. But yeah, Bear Cave at League of Hills. LeagueofHeels.com. A LeagueofHeels.com email address would be pretty good to have. That might be something I have to make at some point. We have a League of Heels at Gmail. League of Heels at Gmail is, of course, an email account because, you got to have that set up. But having a domain account would be pretty good. I miss having a domain account. Right now I have Gmail accounts. I don't have that. Uh, it was nice. There are still a few places out there that want you to have an email at a domain. Everybody's just listing fake email addresses for me. Very fun. Enjoy that very much. I have an MSN that is so old it stopped getting spam, says Mr. Bob. That's nonsense. I kept my Yahoo alive for a really long time because eventually or mainly, I kept it alive for Flickr and then eventually just switched it and switched my Flickr account to another thing. But I kept my Yahoo for a long time because it felt like when Gmail came out, anyone that was on like Hotmail was like, yes, immediately, I'm doing this as soon as I can. But there were a lot of people who would like switch from something else to their, school email address to Yahoo and were like, oh, I don't want to set up a brand new email account. Like, that's even hard. But people were like, But I got a Gmail as soon as I could. As soon as my invite came in, I got that. I've had an AOL email for 20 years and still gets BS sent to it. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, AOL was probably my first email account. Although, folks, if we want to date me here, I had a Juno account. Juno was a dial-up service where you just dialed up, downloaded your emails, and then if you had any emails waiting to be sent, they would send them, and then it disconnected you. And then you would read the emails you had, and you would draft your emails, and then you would connect again to send the emails and to check to see if you had any since you last sent or uploaded. That was Juno. It ran ads. It was free, but you could pay, I think, to not have ads. But you could also edit the bitmaps so it didn't show you ads, and you just had it be blank or text or whatever. But Juno was really great because it was like a 1-800 number you could dial in. So if you didn't have a local, because not every place could get AOL, so it was a way to get access to email for a lot of people. Mr. Bob got his Gmail from something awful. That was a great place to get invites. Yep. The Yahoo address I had in high school and a couple of years after, I've not logged to years and probably been hacked and sending spam messages for boner pills, says Epic World. Probably. Everyone wants to date you, says the T. I did say that if people wanted to date me. I meant carbon date. If people want to carbon date me, which also sounds like a euphemism that is unintentional. But yeah, I had a Juno, I had AOL, multiple AOL emails from back in the day. I had Hotmail account and a Yahoo account and been sticking with Gmail. I had an email account that I never really used for anything. I don't know why they did it, but the official fan website that was official for Garbage, the band Garbage, had an email domain, and fans could have. So I had Pat Baer at garbagemail.com. One, I did like the band. Two, I realized that Garbage Mail was a great domain name. No, I have a friend that still has a Rocket Mail email. Just went through GoFundMe for it. Oh, thank you very much, Canadian Papa Bear. I really appreciate that. I'm going to take a quick look at that. Yeah, thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it. You did donate, so I will reply to your message after the stream is over with a nickname for you, because everyone who donates to my GoFundMe gets a nickname. And if people like privately put their name in there, then I will send them a private message. If people publicly put their name on the list, they'll be included in a big video that I'm going to make. But I appreciate that very much, Canadian Pop Air. Every little bit helps, so thank you for that. Do you mean ICQ? Epic Open World? I believe that's right. My intro to you was PAX West 2018, so pumped to see you again in PAX West 2018. Well, I appreciate that very much, Canadian Papa Bear. Yeah, PAX has been a great way for people to kind of like find out what I do, and the nice thing is that I have, through the course of the years, been also able to introduce a lot of people to other folks they might not otherwise know via 2, 3, 4. Yep, I put this in the wrong spot again. Every time I fuck this up. I've been able to introduce people to folks they might not know and would come to be fans of as well. So that's been really great for me. So the whole idea of doing this fundraiser is so that I can do improvised post-mortem again. It's so that I can do League of Heels and run the League of Heels panel. We should have a merch booth that's still being ironed out. It was ICQ. Okay, great. And then also, I'll probably do Dave Lang's Rank It panel again. And depending on my schedule and various other things, I might do. I did a Lego panel last year at PAX West. I don't think I'm going to do that again, but I've been thinking about another panel that I might be able to do. But at the very least, I will do League of Heels, improvised postmortem, and then do Dave Lang's panel as well. And then the hope is that there might be room for something else. It's tough to run a table and a bunch of panels, so I'm not sure if I can pull off anything else. I think the Lego panel was a great idea, but ended up like I couldn't really put enough effort into it. So it's not Monday because that's the day I'm traveling back home. No, every time I submit anything, I always say, please don't have me on Monday, because it's not, and I'm always there on Monday, but I know that panelists that I want to book, a lot of them travel on Monday. But the Lego panel was the one I found you through, says Canadian Papa Bear. Yeah, and I really enjoy doing that, but with the table is so much work that it's hard to produce like that many panels. But I'm hopefully going to be able to do something. I've been talking with a few people that they're going to take the lead on it, so maybe I can just show up on those people's panels. That's kind of the goal. And the place I'm looking to stay at has Wi-Fi, but also has a router in the room. The place I'm going to stay at has the router is, because it's hooked up to like, they have a TV with Netflix or whatever that's wired. So I was like, I could probably stream. So that's probably what I'll do, is I will at least try to stream like at least once from the Airbnb that I'm looking to stay at. Once I get the funds for that. Because the goal is that once I have the funds in my GoFundMe for the Airbnb, I'll get that first, and they get my flight second. Because flights, you can kind of change things around and figure things out. But once the Airbnb I want to stay in is gone, then I have to look at other places and all that, and maybe places that are more expensive or farther away, that kind of thing. You guys get it. Y'all get it. Um, but one of the nice things about staying in places is it increases the chance that I'll be able to stream from the Airbnb, um, which is what I would like to do, because that is cool. I like road streaming. It was fun to do at PAX Unplugged, and I would like to do it at PAX West. Couldn't do it at PAX East because the place I was staying in, the internet was bad. I tried to overnight upload a panel to YouTube, the improvised postmortem panel, and it failed out so like just over and over again. I had to upload it from PAX East, so that was bad. So I will probably. So my hope is that I'll have a better place than that. All right, so the wings are on. This looks fucking cool. Send this man to PAX West. Thank you, Asmo. Also, hi, Asmo. Checking ahead of time out of respect. If I do attend a panel, are you okay with me approaching you? Introduce myself. Yes! Canadian Papa Bear. It looks like a ship now. Yeah, now it looks like a proper vehicle. Canadian Papa Bear, my standard thing is, after a panel is done, people can approach and say hi to me, say hi to my panel, my guests, my other panelists, all of that. If people see me walking around the convention, they can say hi. If people want to come up to the table that I'm tabling in Bandland, the League of Heels table, please come because I want to sell you merchandise. But also, if you just can't buy anything, you want to just say hi, give me a fist bump, that's great. The only time I feel weird about people approaching me is in the bathroom, even in line for the bathroom. That's weird. And I particularly don't enjoy when the doors are open and people are coming in for a panel. If I am talking with other people that are sitting down, that's totally cool to approach me then. If I'm running around, if I have like papers in my hand and like a controller in my hand and I'm like setting up for the panel and trying to get things ready, if I'm like hooking up a laptop, I would appreciate if people didn't approach me then. And occasionally people have, and I've said, hey, come talk to me after the thing. Because there's never enough time to set up the panel and get all of the wonderful people that I can't wait to do a show for in. Oh, they're gonna do. Yeah, it sounded like they were gonna that Waypoint was gonna do a test stream. Thank you for letting me know, Echo World. But yeah, I mean that's my general opinion when it comes to people want to say, like, I have a table. I want people to come up and say hi. But when it comes to panel stuff, after is always better. Like, once it's over, there's always a few people that come up that they want to say a thing or whatever. They want to say hi. They maybe have something they want signed or whatever, or a photo, that kind of thing. Totally cool. Totally, very much appreciate that. But yeah, before a panel, that can get a little dicey because there's never enough time. Even when we're the first panel of the day, it's just not enough time. Oof. Thanks everybody that's tuning in. Happy to have you here. We will take our pause for the cause break here. I want to go to PAX for the badges. Always sell it so fast. Yeah, it's rough, Epic Open World, because there are some shows that like PAX South. You can PAX Unplugged. Those are shows that you can find out and then decide if you want to go. But it's hard. West and East are kind of tough to make it work. Also, because for both of those, they've hit their limit. They can't really expand either. Whereas Unplugged can get even bigger than it is now. And South, I think, South is now officially the biggest it can be in the convention center that's currently in, but they can still sell more if they needed to. I understand that. It makes sense, and also as we continue, a lot of the reasons people had to go to shows like that might be tough for people to go on other days. Yeah, I mean, I don't know when my panels are going to be. I'll say this: Improvised Postmortem will probably be Thursday night because they often put me on Thursday night or Friday night. Sorry, Friday night, because they often put me the first night of the convention. So Friday night will probably be Improvised Postmortem. I don't know when League of Heels will be. It could be Sunday morning. It could be Saturday. I hopefully won't be at night because we did that once, and I don't want to do another night panel, but I don't know. You'd almost rather work a PAX than attend now. Mr. Bob, I mean, I've now been doing a lot. Like, I will say that running a booth or, a table, like, it's a different vibe. I feel like I didn't really attend PAX East this year. I did things at PAX East. So while I do really appreciate the opportunities I have and I enjoy the shows I do, it's changed. My PAX is different than it used to be. I right now have I know that I'm going to New York Comic Con, but right now I don't have anything to do at New York Comic Con. So it's a thing where I'm like, that's kind of nice. Like, if an opportunity presents for me to do interviews like I've done in the past, or host panels or be on panels, I'll jump at the chance. But there's also something interesting about the idea that, like, I'm just going to get a badge. I'm going to get like a professional badge via contacts of mine and just kind of hang out. I'm like, okay. Show up at the league booth. Most of the people in there. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense, Mr. Bob. If you have a focused thing. I know there were some people like their PAX West is like the Discord booth because Discord brings in some, esports people that I don't know anything about, but folks are excited to see. Like, there are people that just come in for tabletop, and that's all their PAX is going to be. And there are folks that come in for various things. Me, it's seeing my friends and putting on panels, and there are people that are like have their list of panels. Their Waypoint, Giant Bomb, Polygon, IGN, like panel stuff that they want to go see. That GameStop, GameSpot, I should say. Those people that put on panels, and they want to go see that. It's like, yeah, people go for different reasons. I want to go and see panels and don't care about the games. Yeah, totally fair, Epic Open World. I mean, at this point now, like, Indie Mega Booth, the thing I've been trying to get since I started tabling is, right now I still just have a speaker badge, which is incredible. Don't get me wrong. Speaker badge is great. I really do want an exhibitor badge because I want to go in. Dino Gamer just started following. Thank you very much for the follow, Dino Gamer. Appreciate it. But yeah, I want to go in and like check out Indie Mega Booth as they're setting up. Like, I've wanted to go to like the press hour and like play some games. Yeah, I mean, I'm not Asmo. I've never been. I remember I saw a Assassin's Creed 3. No, not Black Flag 3. Assassin's Creed 3 demo because I was hanging out with my friend who's a games journalist. And they were like, "Oh, do you all want to go in and watch the demo?" And we cut the line. There was like a line for the demo. And I was like, I would never go to this outside of this moment right now. There's no way. Seeing games at PAX is garbage to start with. Yeah, it's tough. It's hard, Mr. Bob. It's hard to go and chat. You kind of want to go to like the bar thing for some of the indie people. You want to, you don't want to, like, those things are probably easier to go and talk to people. All right, so let's look at this gimmick here. We're going to take our pause to the cause while I'll talk about, subscribing and all Patreon and all that stuff. But I did want to take a moment to look at this. So if we do this, set this part up here. So we got the jet part, and then we can pull it back like that, and then it spreads open. And this, I guess, is like hover mode. And then it pops open, and you can close them up for like speedy jet mode. And that's pretty fucking cool. All right, so we still have more of this kit to build, but I do want to take a quick pause for the cause. As it is an hour into the stream, I always like to take a break and, talk about ways that you can support the channel. First and foremost, hello and welcome the people that are just joining or have been here the first hour. This is the Build with Bear workshop. Consider giving me a follow so you know, and setting your notifications so you know when I go live. That's always very helpful. It's always helpful for people to be able to find out when I stream. I generally stream Monday, Thursday, and Saturday from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Time. This current Thursday, I will be streaming at 6 p.m. Eastern. Because I am going to go from 6 to 8 p.m. because there's a stream that's happening at 9 p.m. this Thursday that I want to watch. So I'm not going to compete with it. Bits and coins are always appreciated. Become a subscriber. Use your Twitch coin. Link your Amazon Prime account with your Twitch. Get Twitch Prime. Use your token on me. I very much appreciate it. If you donate, I'm looking up the information right here. If you donate 200 or more bits, that's called a mega cheer between now and June 30th. You will get a exclusive. There's a bunch of pride emotes, and also if you mega cheer, some other people in chat will randomly get access to those emotes. And then 10 cents of every 200 bits will be donated via Twitch's cut to the Trevor Project, which is great. And as many of you know, Twitch fails often in its queer community, both in terms of the games that they choose to be adult content, and the streamers they choose are doing adult content, which is not adult content. Same problem many companies have with the queer community, just on that side, not even the harassment and enforcement of seems to neglect many people in that community. So the least they can do is fucking give some money to the Trevor Project. So that's nice. Yeah, bits and coins always appreciated. You can see the top there. YouTube did have a bad week for Pride Month. It continues to have a very bad week. They continue to demonetize queer creators because saying any sort of queer language in your title often gets considered to be adult situations, often when it's not at all. Just awful. I don't love having my archives on YouTube, but I also want to have my archives up on the internet for people to check out. In the same way I don't love being on Twitch, and very similar that I don't love the fact that I'm on Patreon. But I am on Patreon. Patreon, I get a better cut than I do from Twitch, but people like subscribing on Twitch, so that's clearly an option. But you can also join my Patreon. There are reward tiers. If you want to choose the bonus game I'm playing next Wednesday, I'm going to put a poll up next week. Access for the $3 and $5 and $10 tiers get access to that to vote on what I'm going to look at next week. The choices are between Twitch Sings and the gardening expansion for House Flipper. So I'm going to put a poll out, I believe, on Tuesday of this coming week for my Patreon to vote on what I check out on my bonus stream on Wednesday, because I'm going to do a bonus stream on Wednesday next week. I'm going to get through this real quick, and then we'll get back to building this Lego set because we're close to being done here. I also have an Amazon wish list. This kit was bought by an anonymous person on my Amazon wish list. If you'd like to buy something on my list, that jumps the queue. June is my birthday month, so if you feel like buying me an early birthday present, feel free to pick something that's on the site there. There's papercraft and model kits and Lego sets and the master grade Exia 00 is down to $40. It's a good deal on that. The RX 772 gun cannon is down to $33. That's a good deal with Prime shipping. There's a bunch of stuff in there. Lots of different things. Dragon Ball stuff, all kinds of different model kits and figures and things for me to build and stream. Mr. Bob says, when the MG Alex comes out, I will buy that for you. Remind me, Mr. Bob, I'll put it on my wish list when it's available. I also have a coffee. You can jump in and get that. That's direct donations. Anything I make through YouTube videos, Twitch, Patreon, coffee, all goes into me buying kits and equipment. I'm due to buy some kits. I've still got a pretty good little backlog because many people bought me kits in May. May was a really good month from people buying things off my wish list, which was incredible. Thank you very much for that, for everyone that did that. And the GoFundMe right now is at, I'm going to put this in the chat. Also, all this is in the show description on Twitch. I'm refreshing right now. The GoFundMe at the moment is $539. That's almost halfway to my goal. 680, I believe, is what I need for my Airbnb. So that's like the first mini goal to lock that into place, and then the rest will go towards my flight. So that's awesome. I'm going to put that in the chat. But that's also in the show description later on YouTube, the YouTube archive. The GoFundMe for PAX West. Tell a friend. I have the Discord, the Bill with Bear Community Discord. That's a really fun place. Jump in on that. Let's see, what else we got to do before we get back into the building. Put that in. If you are in the New York area, you should check out the Squared Circle. That is a comedy wrestling show I am doing this Sunday, June 9th at 7 p.m. So if you're in the Brooklyn area this Sunday, I believe my buddy Matt, who's producing the show, will film it. I am playing the ring announcer, guest ring announcer, Video James. Video James is a disgraced games journalist turned wrestling announcer. I'll be, doing some commentary here and there, introducing the performers, playing songs off my iPad right on stage, because I'm also teching that show, so I have to do the tech for it while I'm on stage. That was the deal I had to strike, because I didn't want to get it covered. But yeah, I think that's it. That's hopefully that'll be up, my buddy Matt. Now, fun fact. Many folks know that one Sunday evening, after watching on the WWE Network a pay-per-view, I was walking from my work. After work, we had watched the pay-per-view that had aired that night, and came across a particular rodent that was trying to climb some stairs in the subway with a piece of pizza, the pizza rat. And that I pointed at the rat and said, "Oh, holy shit." And then a friend of mine took out his phone and filmed said rat, and then labeled it Pizza Rat and uploaded it onto Instagram and YouTube, and then sent that link to Gawker and Gothamist, who ran with it. That friend is Matt Little, who is producing and runs the Squared Circle show. My longtime compatriot, Matt Little, the man who takes the credit for Pizza Rat. If you've watched the GIF, that's his. If you watch the, if you listen to the video, you can hear my voice. But yeah, Matt, that is the man that made Pizza Rat a household name. That's a fun fact for you. Matt and I have had a wonderful collaboration for many years in the UCBW, which was the UCP's Comedy Wrestling League. We had a wonderful time together, working together. But yes, our shared legacy is Pizza Rat. It is a thing that will do better than anything we will ever do in our lives, which is really weird. But yeah, that is Matt's claim to fame in certain worlds. But yeah, I love Matt to death. He was like, "I'm doing a wrestling show that's all about cutting wrestling promos, but we'll give it the gravitas of a wrestling show, but there's no physicality. And comedians can do it, and wrestlers can do it if they want." And I was like, "That sounds great. Let me know when it is." And then it was scheduled at the theater I work at, and I was teching it. And I was like, "Oh hey, I'm teching your show." So now for the third incarnation, I am joining the show as a character. Also, the name Video James is just so perfect for a commentator that I was like, well, I gotta do it. Can't recall which one, but I have at least two. Maybe Pizza Rat has made its way to actual TV shows. Yes! So, Pizza Rat Lane is a fictional street in Kimmy Schmidt. And then I believe there's at least one other show. I can't remember what else, but at least another show references it. Yes, Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt has Pizza Rat Lane. The Staten Island Yankees, which is a minor league team, some of their home games they rebranded as the Staten Island Pizza Rats. It was like a contest. Like, they didn't officially rebrand. And that always annoyed me because we found it in the East Village. It wasn't at Staten Island. And also, that poll where Pizza Rats won, it should have been also on the docket was the Killer Bees. And nothing modernly represents the best of Staten Island like the Wu-Tang Clan. So they should have been called the Staten Island Killer Bees for some of their home games and not the Pizza Rats. That was always annoying. I remember Pizza Rat is an app, and it's like an app for like finding, like, reviewing pizza places, like by the slice pizza places. Like, you could go to the app, and it's not like a good app, and it's not an app that anyone cared about, but the guy that created that named it that before the Pizza Rat video, and like allegedly tried to like get some money out of Matt. Allegedly was interested in perhaps getting some money out of Matt. We'll say that. And of course, nothing came of that, but there was an attempt to perhaps get some money. Oops, I forgot to put on a thing here. Missed a step. Sorry about that. Going back to it. But, yeah, it was a whole thing. Junkin Media. Matt sold it. I am saying Pizza Rat. Pizza Rat Epic Open World. Pizza Rat was a minor YouTube internet meme sensation. It is a short video of a real rat dragging a full actual slice of pizza up the stairs. And it exploded as an animated GIF, and there's a video that was on Instagram and then later on YouTube that my friend Matt filmed. VT James says, GoFundMe up to $760. I'm going to double check that. That's quite the jump. That is an incredible donation. I've got 2 donations since I last looked. Wonderful donations from Jason, and then an anonymous Jason is public, so I'll say thank you, Jason. Of course, say thanks later. And then Matt made a private donation. I said Matt. I won't say anything else. Matt made a private donation. Also, thank you, Matt. Also, hi, J-Man. Ultron throwing up Bear Cave Moat. That's incredible. So that means that I can get the Airbnb that I was looking at, which is awesome. That's really great. That is so awesome. So as soon as this stream is over, I will go in and take care of that Airbnb. And also, being over 50% is such a wonderful relief. So thank you to the person out there, put it out there. But yeah, Pizza Rat. I don't even know. I've talked about it in public before. And since I am talking about it in public, I will say Pizza Rat is real. There was a attempt to say that the Pizza Rat video was doctored or faked, and that is untrue. While I cannot 100% tell you that rat wasn't, such a fucking weird thing to say. I do not have proof that rat was not trained to drag that slice of pizza. But I will tell you that if someone trained that rat to do that, they were also pranking us. And then we were going along with that, and it was unintentionally being pranked. That was not our intention, was to do that. Um, it is still totally my belief that that incident is just somewhat related to other things. Um, because before that video, there was a minor hit video of a rat running over a drunk person's phone and like taking a photo by hitting, like running across the phone. That video is clearly fucking fake. And I can tell you it's fake because I watched it at the time and went, "This is fake." Uh, but also, people think that video is fake. Uh, I know that video is fake because the person in it is a comedian and a weird internet performer. Now, it's believed, yes, there are rat truthers out there. Well, there are some people that say it's fake, and they just think it's fake because it's popular and because it's a cool thing. So they assume that it's staged. People think it's fake because the people that put the video up are comedians. Matt and I are both comedians. At the time, we were both employees at the Upright Citizens Brigade Theater. We both know a lot of people in the community. And the person that helped make the fake rat video is also a performer there. Now, at the time, Matt and Eric, the guy that eventually became part of this whole conspiracy, or alleged conspiracy, they had never met. But people were like, "Oh, they both work at UCB, or they both perform at UCB." Now, that's like talking about how we both go to NYU. That's the equivalent that I want to say. We both grew up in Dallas, Texas. Like, that's what I want you to understand. Like, it's totally possible. There are people who have performed on the New York UCB stage that I've never met, that like had like long careers there, because it's just like a big place. So there are folks out there that think that that fake video was connected to our video. And then if you go deeper, Eric claims that he was hired to make that video by a art person, like scene person that makes like art called Zardulu. And this person like trained the rat from Eric's video. And then someone else, an anonymous person says that the rat from Pizza Rat was also trained by Zardulu. Now, if you want my opinion, then I have no fact for this. Eric, in my opinion, there's a 90. No, it was a reply all. If you want to look this up, there's a reply all that talks about Zardulu. And they interview my buddy Matt, who then names drops me. So people who didn't know about all this, like, who maybe knew, but listen to that, like, everyone was just like, "Hey, you're referenced on reply all." Yeah, Asmo, it has a lot of fucking layers. It's a nightmare, a nonsense thing. But, so, in my opinion, Eric made up Zardulu and made up the connection to Pizza Rat to get more views on his pizza video. But he ran into a problem, which is I freaked the fuck out. Now, I don't know if y'all know me pretty well from this stuff. You know me from my other internet things. You know me. You might know one thing about me, which is I'm not a liar. And I take my word means something. It's all I have. Because I speak from the heart and I talk about things that I'm passionate about. The whole premise of 404ing it, my show, the panel that brought me to the table, that introduced audiences to me, was that I talked about things I was genuinely happy about and excited about. So to have someone say that Matt and I made a fake viral video, or a video we made to go viral to con people, and that we were lying, that we were liars and cheats, fucking infuriated me and like hurt me to the core. And Eric, who only knew me as the very good tech person at UCB, didn't know that about me. And so now he can never say, "Oh, I'm Zardulu." because that would be admitting that he called me a liar. That is my theory. Zardulu very much could be real. Zardulu could have very much had hired my friend Eric to make that rat video. It's totally possible. But it's not connected to what we did, and it's a weird thing. It's a very weird thing. It's so fucking weird, y'all. It's such a weird thing. The rat is Zardulu. Can you confirm the pizza rat is not really the work of the Illuminati? Epic Open World. As I said, the only thing I can tell you for sure is this was at like 3, 4 in the morning on a Sunday into Monday in New York. If somebody was setting up this rat for us to find, they're incredible, but we don't know that. So I can't tell you that. I can only tell you that I'm not a liar and that we found that rat. I pointed it out. Matt was smart enough to film it. And the rest is a weird chapter of the internet. One of the things that really annoys me about Zardulu is that a friend of mine references Zardulu a lot on the internet. And partially he does it because he knows that it's a sore subject for me. And so I love him a lot. And then I see him like tweeting about Zardulu. And I'm like, no. All right, so we're done with most of this jet. We got one more thing to build here. So we do have our missile launchers. They pop in there. You just push it down. They shoot out. Very standard. There's a spare, which is nice. We have one more thing to build here. I don't even know what this is. Oh, this is like some sort of... It's a thing for the... to hold the chain weapon, these dragon whatever that Jay has. We're going to build a little thing with what the pieces that are left here. Is a rat in New York City. Yeah, I don't know. What I've never got about the controversy. Yeah. It was such a weird thing. Mainly it blew up on the internet, and when things get popular, people look for a reason why. And then like, look, I understand. I would say that you should be skeptical when comedians make a viral video. I think that's healthy to be skeptical. But to just go out flat and go, well, it must be fake because they're comedy people, like that annoys me. But like, yeah. When folks go and now when people make fake web pages and stuff, they have to be better about like who like gets the domain and all that. Like, I knew it was him right away, but John Daly a few years ago created a fake Red Hot Chili Peppers song that was a leaked Red Hot Chili Peppers song that was going to be like a song written for the Super Bowl, and he like leaked it. But the person that like built the website for it was like a known like music producer that works with comedians, so it was like instantly like, oh, you can't do that. And now when people make fake web pages and fake websites, they like go through a service so that it's like there's no who is linked to to anyone. But yeah, it was always a thing where I'm like, nah, man, you can't do that. Like, you got to be smarter. People are looking to see why this is fake and who made this fake thing. So I get skepticism. I'm okay with it's, but like also, I don't know, believe me. Yes, I agree, Lord Crashington. People should be skeptical of viral videos, says Lord Crashington, but not to the point of being conspiracy truthers over them. Indeed. I think that it's healthy, and I want people to be skeptical. Like, you know, but at the same time, like, if you see that video and you're like, fake, like, why? Look, the end of that video is the rat giving up on the slice of pizza because it's too hard to drag up the stairs. If we were going to shoot it virally, the thing I always said was like, hey, if it's fake, then Matt and I did a bad job because it's not funny and it doesn't end well. We did a bad viral video if we did a fake one. We did a bad fake viral video because there's no payoff because we're way better comedians than that video. So, like, we did a bad job. I always say that. Sometimes people, like, see they see something spontaneous or weird happening and they go, oh, that's probably improv everywhere. And I'm like, did it end? Was there catharsis? Was it a big reveal at the end? Was there a big moment? Was it a big thing? Then it probably isn't because Charlie, my buddy Charlie created Improv Everywhere. I've been in a few videos. There's a payoff to them. There's a thing. He's a comedian. He like builds worlds and stories. Like that's his thing. So like it's not. He isn't gonna just. So when, yeah. So that was like when people were like oh, I think that's an Improv Everywhere thing. I'm like, I mean, if it was just somebody being weird, probably not. In the same way, if I was gonna make a fake viral video about Pizza Rat, some shit would happen. Alright, so that's it for this kit. We're just about done here. We're going to jump to our next kit in a second. I'm going to take this opportunity to put our extra pieces in here. We got our shrine, I guess, for these weapons, which is kind of neat. We'll save that out. We got our minifigs. I often don't keep the minifigs out when I take photos of our kits, so I want to do that for this one. Because I always take a photo of the built kit, and I don't usually include minifigs. I don't want to do that, so we'll do that. So here's our jet, and I'll show this thing there. Maybe being bad viral video is the joke. Yeah, I don't. So here's our jet, and then if we pull this down, pops open like that, and then opens all the way up. It's pretty neat. And then we can do that. And then it locks in there. So yeah, I'll do it one more time. I'll do it this way here. It goes like that. Oops. And there it goes. Pops open. It's pretty cool. A pretty cool vehicle. Oh, that was the missile popping out. I didn't even know this kit had it. Had this element to it, and I really like it. Whoops. Yeah, these missile things always like to pop out. Alright, so we're going to move on to our next kit. I'll take a photo of this after the stream is done. Put in there. Instructions in there. And I'll probably... Yeah, this probably will fit in the box, which is great. Always worried about that. About kits fitting in the box. Alright, take that over there. And now we're going to jump to another Lego set. Also, one of the reasons we're doing this is because, like I said earlier in the stream, on Monday I'm doing a contract gig in the beginning of the day. And that night I'm going to be tired and I don't want to do a Lego set. I want to do a Lego set. I don't want to do a like a model kit. I want to do something a little simpler for the stream because I'll definitely be tired. But, you know, gotta do these gigs when they come up. Do I want to be in Long Island City at 7 in the morning? I do not. Am I going to be there and do a kick-ass job? Of fucking course I am. What kind of question is that? So, yeah, so I'll, like, Noel tomorrow or tonight and get things ready for Monday and all that. But we'll do a quick little Noel job here. I can talk about some anime stuff. Let's see. I'm caught up on Fruits Basket. The drama stuff with the family stuff is still going. I mean, it's a drama with some comedy elements, but it's mostly a drama, and it's a good one. Don't get me wrong. I'm still really enjoying it. I think, yeah, I've been enjoying it quite a bit, so I'm looking forward to more um, in the stories of this fun show. I don't have a lot to say about it. Is there any time you want to be in Long Island City? I mean, Long Island City's fine, Asmo. There's a couple. There's the beach by the water taxi. Water taxi beach is kind of fun. There's some really good food, especially seafood. You know, I don't spend a lot of time in Long Island City, but it's fine. Um, anyway, like I said, Fruits Basket, good. Joshi Kausei. This episode was a flashback about one of the characters, and it was like, I don't know, it was a sad little moment. The show is very light. It is a 3-minute silent show. There's no dialogue. There's no characters like occasionally emote, but no one really talks. That is the gimmick of the show. It's about 3 schoolgirls, high school girls, that are friends and have adventures and do some stuff, and it's good. It's a good show. Yeah, this episode was short and fun. We already put together one of our figs. One of our figures already done with the whip, and we got one of these already building. But yeah, we're just gonna null this real quick. I think I'm gonna null bag 1 and bag 2 just to do some of that, even if it means we don't get a lot done, because I am leaving my whole setup here until Monday, because I'm doing a gig from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Monday, and then come home and then nap. So I want everything done so that I don't have to worry about getting anything set up for Monday night for the stream. So we'll just quickly null things together. Nice and easy. But yeah, there's not a lot in bag 1 anyway, so. Senryu Girl. Senryu Girl, I really liked this episode. Once again, the show, its relationship of the main character and the main girl and the main guy and their will they, won't they cuteness is fun. This episode did the trite thing of, like, the spooky thing to pull people together. So, like, it is, even though I think the premise of the main character only communicates by writing haiku, while I think that's very interesting, a lot of the show is by the numbers, and I'm not a huge fan of that. I wish that it was, I definitely wish the show was more inventive in many ways. So that is frustrating. I've said that before, and I'll stand by that opinion. But there was also some great scenes with the girl that only communicates by drawing, Kino. She's like such a fun character. So I'm always excited when she's around. And we also had the very common gothish girl who writes or who reads fortunes. It was actually kind of funny because she was like, "Do you think I know how to get rid of ghosts? Because I do not." And I thought that was very funny. She was like, "That's not my thing." Yeah, it was fine. It was a fine episode. Not great, but good. And then We Never Learn. Very surprised at this episode of We Never Learn, because it's episode 9 or 10, maybe 10, and they introduced a new character, which was very strange. It's very strange that what I assume to be a 12 or 13 episode series, unless it's a double, and I don't think it's a double. I'm actually, you know what? I'm going to look it up, because I want to know. We Never Learn. I'll check the old Wikipedia. It's going to be in there. Yeah, this is episode 10. Okay, it's going to be 13 episodes and an OVA, is what I've been told, what it says on the internet. So basically, We Never Learn is smart guy, but who's pretty broke, has been tutoring 3 girls. One who's a genius in math but wants to study in college the arts. One that is a very poetic and really great at reading stuff, but wants to go into science in college and is doing bad in school because of that. And then one girl who's a star athlete, but just really does bad at tests and needs to do better on tests in general so that she can continue to do athletics. And the sports girl has always had a crush on the guy. The other girls are one of the girls clearly has a crush on him. The other one is trying to be supportive of the other two, but also probably definitely has feelings. So it's basically like a love diamond, very anime, very by the numbers, but it's like fun and they're different and interesting. There's also a young teacher who failed to tutor 2 of the girls and thinks that the guy is there for ulterior motives, but then she probably also has a crush on him, and that's, even though she's drawn to be young and supposed to be like a brand new teacher, that's still fucked up and weird, and I don't like that part at all, and I'm glad she's not in a lot of episodes, because it's like the worst part of the show. So, it's the summer, cram school's happening, the main guy gets to go to cram school, and what does he find at cram school? A real young-looking lady. What is she, a middle schooler? What's her fucking deal? Turns out, even though she looks young, she's 19. She's older than the main guy. And this is really interesting because although there is now a dumb thing where her dad thinks that they're dating, which is so fucking trite and whatever, she's like clearly fucking with him. She's like, oh, I guess I could probably fall in love with him. And then she's like, just kidding. But it's kind of interesting to have a character that's like not part of the love affair. She's 2,000 years old. Yeah, no, she's just 19. She's not a 5,000-year-old fox like Helpful Fox Senko-san. She's just 19. Like, it is weird that she's young looking, but she definitely sounds older. It's mostly that like everyone like oohs and coos on her and like tries to offer her food. And so she's got an attitude about it. But also, hey, because she's small, she's very popular at the maid cafe she works at. Because she works at a maid cafe and does a little sister bit for that. Because of course she does. But really it's just like, why is she... Yeah, epic of world, indeed. Shocked face, indeed. But it's also like, it's just interesting that like a show that's going to be 13 episodes introduced a brand new character 10 episodes in, and like, then she quickly realizes that the other girls are also into him, and so she's like very aware of that and everyone's feelings. And who knows if she's going to be a hindrance or a help, and you're also like, I mean, the whole thing is I guess you want him to end up with one of them. Like, I like the earnestness and funness of the swimmer girl, and she's always had a crush on the guy, and like, I like that. But the genius at math and science who wants to get into poetry is really cute and fun, and like a hard worker. And like, I care the least about the girl that wants to go into science. Like, oh, she's whatever. But yeah, the show is good. I enjoy it. I like it way better than last season's quintessential quintuplets show. Because also, that guy I didn't like at all, whereas the main character in this show, like, he's dumb because he doesn't realize that at least 2 girls are into him. Like, he has no fucking clue. He has no idea. And that's just nonsense. It's just very obvious and complete nonsense that he has no idea this is happening. So that's nonsense. But other than that, he's like, just like a good dude. And trying real hard. He's like, oh, I'm doing very well in this cram school. I can't wait to apply some of the things I've learned to help me as a tutor. Like, he's thinking about them. And he also realizes, like, oh, I'm only be able to go to this cram school in the summer because um, the school is paying for it because they did well enough on their tests. So I don't know. I like him. He seems all right. It's a lot of like, it's a romantic comedy series, so there's a lot of dumb bullshit. You know, I like my romantic comedies to be a little smarter than this one is sometimes, but it's still all right. Um, and as I said, I'm just rewatching Hunter x Hunter. You know, they're taking the Hunter exam right now. Um, it's the Hunter exam is such a great story, and introducing all the characters is so fun. 3, 6, 9. I'm really enjoying it. I'll have more to say about that on Monday because I won't have really anything to talk about on Monday because there's only like a couple shows that come out between now and then. Yeah, Yatagome-chan is the only new show that comes out on Mondays or between tonight and Monday because nothing that I watch because I'm now letting more episodes of One Piece happen before I get caught up. Some good shit's happening with One Piece, but I'm going to let a bunch of episodes happen, and then I will catch up. Alright, so working on, we're starting with like the bottom base part of our Landspeeder. So I'm excited to work on that. Yeah, if there's anything you want to talk about, we got a few more minutes left in the stream. I am, like I said, Monday night I will be streaming again. I am not going to, I'm not going to let Square Enix preempt my stream because I just don't care enough. Like, I'm interested in an Avengers game, but I'm not interested in anything else. Speaking of everything, I saw a good tweet. Will this be the third year in a row Goku is on the Microsoft stage? I mean, it's possible. I don't know. I don't know if there's a game that DLC. Probably not. I think we hit our 2 years with Goku. So I don't think there's a game coming out that Goku is in. DLC for Jump Force maybe, but like I don't think that makes Microsoft stage. They're not doing a sequel to the Fighter Z that I like for at least a year, probably. No, I think this will be the year without Goku. They could show that Dragon Ball project. They could. There is that Dragon Ball project, and they could show that. But I bet that they're not ready to show that yet. That doesn't seem like a thing that they talk about. That to me is a game that you show next year when you're talking about your new console, and you're like, are there anime fans here? Well, this is the most like an anime you're going to get thanks to the Project Scarlet. Because that's all we know as far as the name right now, is that it's Project Scarlet. And all of, do we get Goku in Smash? Well, if we do, they're not going to talk about it on the Xbox stage. But I also know we're not going to get Goku. I mean, who knows? But no, I don't know. They failed footage when they announced, didn't they? That looked very this gen. Yes, it did. I do think that Dragon Ball action thing is probably this generation. I don't think it's next gen. But I also don't know if it's ready for E3. Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. TGS makes more sense to me, yeah. Logan, I don't know. And Lord. I don't know. It could be. I mean, it's possible. Would be very interesting if 3 years in a row there was a Goku like presence at E3. That's pretty funny. Alright, so we do the big one here. Just like this. And push these through. And then one the same size goes through. This side here. Great. Just building the base for our speeder. Nothing really particularly exciting at the moment. They'll announce Goku. A game with Gokus. I'm excited for E3 because not only is it at E3, I take a week off, and man, do I need a week off. Asmo, enjoy that week off. I'm glad you. I'm glad you're getting that week. If you need it, I'm glad you're getting it. Enjoy that week. Yeah, I mean, I'm excited for like hearing about games I've never heard before. I'm excited like to have people spend time together and that I know and see people and people like talk about projects and hear about unannounced games like that. That can be very fun. I'm excited to hear what people are working on and hear about new stuff. But the big pressers are always like, okay, all right, cool. I'm more interested a lot of times about people like when they say like, oh, I went to go see that thing. Here's what I thought of it. Right, cool. Yeah, I am excited for this stuff. We'll see. Sun. Moving right along. But yeah. Uh, yeah, I think that like overall, I'm like a little more subdued than I normally am for E3, mainly because I I'm not ready to buy a new console, or I'm not thinking about games, game consoles like that right now. But I am excited for people that are excited about that stuff to like get what they want. That shit's cool. The thing I'm always most excited for is game developers that have been working on a thing for a really long time finally being able to say, this is what I'm working on. This is what I've been working on this whole time. Look at the thing I was working on. It's real. Look at it. It's real. Hey, one thing I didn't notice until right now, I'll have to look in the box. There might not be any decals in this. There might not be any stickers in this kit. I think there aren't any stickers. I don't think I saw any. Let me look at the box. Yeah, I don't think there's any stickers. Wow, that's weird. Weird. I mean, I guess there's not a lot there. See in the box, but yeah, I don't think there's any decals in this kit. I would have found them. Or unless they're in one of the bags. It's possible they could be in one of these bags and you don't use them until the end, but there might not be any decals in this kit. That would be odd. Well, a lot easier. I also bought a ticket to see X-Men before the press conference tomorrow. Is the movie dead? Yeah, probably, but I have to see it. I have to see all the rest in theaters. Yeah, I mean, epic open world, good luck to you. That seems like a bad movie. There's no gimmick south of buy a headset that costs $100. I feel like the hardware kind of in good offer, huh? Yes, I follow that guy on Twitter, and he only tweets when he's excited about something, which I think is rad. Um, but yes, the Rabbids director tearing up when Miyamoto praised him is one of the most hashtag relatable things I've ever seen. And yeah, I mean that's the human element. The human element of is people excited to like finally talk about a thing that they've been working on. It's the reveals of all the hard work. It's the fans that are psyched for stuff. I mean, the sycophant stuff is rough. Like I don't need to hear about people being in love with developers and as much. Like I can kind of do without some of that stuff. But I mean I'm a human. I have a human heart. I feel emotions in my human being. So I have a lot of respect for people that are very like moved by these things. Uh, yeah, it'll be interesting to see. There's always those games that like I haven't heard anything about that, and then they show it, and you're like, oh, that looks cool. And I like the small things. You get small games now and again. Those could be really fun to hear about. Yeah. All right. But yeah, there is. I think cynicism when it comes to E3 is certainly warranted because there's a lot to be desired, in my opinion. In my opinion. Certainly quite a bit. Could be rough in spots. Alright, and then we gotta get a gray over here. When I start, I think the spoiler talk around E3 stuff is silly, but I do think the point is stuff some people made that it sucks devs want to surprise folks, a cool thing they're making. Yeah, I mean, it's tough. Like, to be like, oh, they're going to talk about a new thing, and you're like, okay, and they're like, oh, the people are making this thing, and you're like, all right, and then you're like, oh, it sucks that people know about this because somebody was very bad at designing a website. So now we've got to announce this game, and we can't do it the way we really want to. But I'm also like, yeah, but I don't know. I don't know. I guess I'm of several minds when it comes to that stuff. Like, I feel for them, but I also like, I don't know. Yes, Lord Crashes in. That's also tough. That like they did show a lot. Logan Paul, or Logan Payne, not Logan Paul. Sorry, I apologize. Logan Payne, Logan Payne. Sorry, Logan. I'm tired. I'm almost done with the stream for tonight, and that's a great indication that I am definitely about done because I really goofed there. But yes, you said that Nintendo might be the bright spot with Animal Crossing, Fire Emblem, and Pokemon maybe. Yeah. I mean, honestly, all Nintendo needs to do is just be like, here's a whole lot about Animal Crossing. Check this shit out. It's Animal Crossing. Sorry. On your Switch. Let's have fun with it. We're like, yeah, okay. Okay. Here's another character that's going to be in Smash Brothers. You're like, okay, great. Thank you so much. But yeah, I mean, like, sometimes things are said in a press, like people are like, oh, sports ball stuff. And you're like, whatever. You don't have to watch this part. There's somebody out there who's just like so psyched that there's more FIFA talk because that's the thing they care about. Let them have it. Let them like the thing they like. But yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what Pokemon stuff they're going to talk about because we talked about a lot. I don't know what that's going to come out. But yeah, I think Nintendo will have some stuff. I think, yeah, Xbox is going to be I think the Xbox presser is going to be interesting. I think it'll be interesting to see what they have to say. I'll be definitely interested in hearing about what they're showing. But I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. All right, I'm going to finish off this section here, and then we're going to stop on this. I have never understood the appeal of Animal Crossing. Epic, it was a breath of fresh air when it came out on the GameCube. It was just like felt like such a cool thing. One of the reasons I loved it on the GameCube is because I had a memory card that I would bring to my friend's house, and then I would, enter his town and like hang out, and he would be like right there watching, and then like it was just a cool thing. And then maybe somebody from his town would like come on my save and then move to my town, and it'd be like just fun, like weirdness. I don't know. There's a lot to do in there, and it's very cute, and just like, to me, it's like a very cute SimCity. It's just so fun. I'm watching and playing MLB 19 right now, so people do enjoy sports games. Of course, Asma. Of course I do. All right, we're going to stop there. We'll go back to step 21 in the future here. We're getting just a little bit of this done. Put our things on there. Whatever this guy is. Really scary face paint on that thing. But yeah, we got a little bit done on this kit, and we'll get more into it in the future. Thanks for watching the stream. As I said, I'll be back again on Monday, 9 p.m. Eastern. Have the Square Enix panel going, presentation going in another stream, another tab if you want. But I'll be here. Thank you very much. This was a fun one. I had a good time. I'm so happy with the turnout tonight. Thank you all so much for coming and hanging out. Saturday is kind of sometimes a little light, so it was nice having a big crowd and a good chat as always. Lego is always fun, Lord Crashton. And also, like, this, I mean, I'm going to pull it back for photos. That jet's fucking rad. That's really cool. We made a cool thing. So I hope you have a great time, and I'll see you all on the next Build with Bear workshop. Bye, everybody. Bye.